I know when I come with that energy, all of my enemies wanna be friends. Niggas is not a pretender, be it be so sad what they do for the grams. Front just for a picture, but still don't get the picture. My nation, they lands. I ain't studying school, but I studied the rich. How they turn my low hood to a Benz. If it's static, we gon' slide, it's electric. Uptown, break it down, nigga hectic. Couple pound, break it down, check the metric. They ain't got the luck, but they gon' have to respect it. For the 4th, but still be in the 3rd and the 5th. Shut up my doors with the 6th. If I don't take a shot, fuck it, I'll pass to my dog. Fuck it, I settle for assist. Yeah, in the rags for riches.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Brooklyn Boxing Podcast. I'm here with the monster, Edgar Berlanga. Thanks so much for joining the show.
Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch your fight this weekend. Brooklyn is buzzing. The world is starting to follow you. 16-0, 16 first-round knockouts, looking to make it 17 this weekend. I mean, you are just a highlight reel right now. So talk to me a little bit about your journey so far and the run you've been going on.
Yeah, this journey has been amazing. In the beginning, a lot of rough things. A lot of rough things in the beginning of my career. I wasn't really financially stable. Me and my dad, we was with Holyfield Promotions in the beginning. I started over no promoter, then I got with Holyfield Promotions. I made a little buzz in New York being with them, and then they went out of business, so I was basically a free agent, man. And then Top Rank came out of nowhere and just scooped me up, and it was just, since then it's just been sky's the limit.
Yeah, I mean, you've been on fire, man. And what's it like to have, you're fighting for Brooklyn. Brooklyn has such a rich history of champion boxers, but then also Puerto Rico. You got Carmelo Anthony, Fat Joe, a lot of big time people starting to back you, promote you. What's it like having those, New York, Puerto Rican icons back you right now?
It's just like I always say, right? Like the more you win, the more people's gonna come. And a guy like me that that I'm doing what I'm doing, you expect me to be like cocky and arrogant, but I'm the opposite. I'm humble. I'm a people's person. I'm the people's champ. So, for me, it's mostly about just me knocking everybody up, but also as a person, I'm a good person, and I'm very humble, and especially for what I do, I'm super duper humble, man. And it's just a blessing to have these type of people, actually behind me, and not just just a friend on social media, but people in person that I've hung out with, that they dropped a lot of knowledge on me, coming up, because you see, like Carmelo Anthony, he's in different industry, basketball, but it's all leads up to the same thing at the end of the day, with the fame, the money, just a lot of things. It's just different sport, basketball, you got Fat Joe that raps, you got me that I go inside the ring and I fight. But it just leads up to the same thing, like I said, and they just drop a lot of knowledge on me.
And is it a switch that you flip, like entering the ring when you become the monster? You say, you're a good guy, nice guy out of the ring, but you're certainly not that when you get in there with your opponent. So talk to me about maybe the mindset change when you enter the ring. Where's your head at? And you obviously are a vicious puncher. So, how do you become the monster in there?
It's weird because, for this camp, just me walking into the hotel yesterday, I just felt the switch automatic. As soon as I seen the camera come on, it was like, oh yeah, it's on, like it's fight week, like I was in camp, but I came over here and it's just different, man. The energy, the energy I bring, man, and my presence just on a different level, and right now, I got something to prove Saturday. I got a lot of doubters out there that's doubting me, a lot of haters out there as well that's hating on me and wishing and praying on my downfall, so that's really what motivates me, and what pushes me to go harder. I'm ready to just, perform and do my best, not just do my best, but, perform to my best ability on this Saturday.
Yeah. And obviously, you train to go all 12 rounds. You haven't been out of the first round yet. DEMOND Nicholson is a guy who's been talking a lot about bringing you into deep waters. Do you have pressure on yourself to get guys out of there in the first round? Are you looking for that knockout, or do you just take it as it comes And if they can't handle what you bring, it is what it is.
Yeah, like, you know, if I hit a guy with my best shot and he stays there and he's normal, then I'm gonna throw 100 more of those shots and let's see if he could take it. Whether we go into the second, third, or fourth round. You know, in the gym, man, I push myself to the limit. You know, like I'm sparring 3 different guys. I'm sparring 3 different fresh guys and taking them out, bringing one in. Getting the rounds in 8, 10, 12 rounds of sparring. I'm training extremely hard in the gym, man. So for me, you know, I'm very well prepared for anything that happens on Saturday, and we 100% ready. You know, he's talking about bringing me into deep waters, and I hear a lot of that, man. Listen, man, there's nothing that he got that I've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done seen it all. I've seen every style. I've been in there with Russians. I've been in there with Cubans, the Cubans. I've been in there with so many fighters, man. You wouldn't even understand as an amateur just coming up, you know, competing overseas. So whatever he brings to the table is nothing new, you know. For me, towards him, he just better be prepared mentally for what's to come. You know, I'm just a different type of person, a different type of animal when I get in that ring, you know, and for me, it's kill or be killed. He gonna have to kill me.
Would you be interested in acquiring rounds in there? Not that you're going to take it easy on him by any means, but if he did happen to last until the 5th, 6th, 7th round, you still get the stoppage. Would that be something, you know, you'd be happy with just to get a little bit more rounds under your belt? Or is it just not under your concern right now? It's just get these guys out of there. And if someone can last, eventually they can last.
Yeah. If I get him out in the 4th round, you know, whether my job, I'm getting him out of there regardless. You know, that's just my mentality. Like I said, I have a killer mentality. I'm a totally different fighter when I'm sparring and when I'm in the ring, you know, because now it's like, you know, sparring, you're working on technique, you're working on different things, you know, certain times, you know, you got to work on your jabs. But fight night is like, you do what you do. And for me, it's like, I got to perform, you know, it's entertainment, you know, it's a performance that I have to do and I have to get the job done. So even if I get the job done in the 4th round, I'm still going to be happy. If anything, I got at least let the world know that, listen, oh, this kid could fight. He not only he could punch, but he has a good jab. He has good feet movement. He has good head movement. You know, he gives angles. Oh, this kid has the whole package.
Talk to me before I want to get into Felix Trinidad and touch on some of the Puerto Rican history of boxing in a second. But first, I just wanted you to maybe give the listeners a little insight into what it's like to have that type of power, what it feels like to knock someone out for you. Is it just like hitting the sweet spot on a baseball bat? Do you look for it at all? Or is it just, you know, you just have that God-given power and when you land, they can't take it?
Yeah. You know, like, all right, so like my mindset is like when I come out 1st round is like keep my hands up tight, you know, because sometimes, you know, a lot of guys, you know, if they're afraid, they'll fight off being a fear and they could throw a wild shot, you know. So my thing is to always keep my hands up tight, use my jab, but most importantly, I'm trying to hurt off the rip. I'm trying to hurt the guy. You know, every shot that I throw, I'm trying to not overextend my punches, but if I'm gonna land, I'm gonna make sure I land clean. And if I'm gonna hit him in his face, I want to break his face. If I want to break his jaw, I'm gonna aim for his jaw and I'm gonna put his jaw this way. You know, if I want to hit him on top of the head, like I did with Eric Moon, and knock him unconsciously, then I'm gonna do that. You know, and or I gotta go to the body and break him down to the body, I'm definitely doing that as well. So it's just a mixture of different things. But as far as, you know, like just the target being there is like, I want to hurt. I want to hurt. It is none way around it. Like, I just want to hurt. I want to make sure when I touch, it's like, oh, fuck, you know, like, damn, this dude hits hard, you know, like, oh, damn, you know, and then even if it goes past the 1st, the 2nd, I'm gonna continue to do it and break him down. Even if the guy comes forward and he's putting pressure, I'm still gonna use my jab, be smart, box, use angles, you know, and use my jab. But like I said, most important is to just hurt. If you're not in boxing to hit and to hurt somebody, you shouldn't be fighting.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And I love, you know, it's an old school mindset, I think. And a lot of guys that I've talked to, an older fighter, Michael Olajide, who was in the Hearns Hagler era. He fought Tommy Hearns. I've done a few shows with him, and he always talks about how he wants to see guys nowadays that if they feel like someone shouldn't be in the ring with them, get them out of there. And that's the mindset you seem to have. So I can't wait to check it out on Saturday. But I did want to talk too about Felix Trinidad. I mean, obviously a Puerto Rican legend, a guy you looked up to as an idol, and you had a chance to meet him, talk to him. I know he said he wants to be at your fights as soon as, you know, fans start coming and everything. Like, what's it like to meet your idol like that and have him say, "Hey, I'm a fan of you"?
Like when I met him like in person, it was I went to his hometown in Coupe Alto, and it was like he had like a whole bunch of people there and stuff, and like I sat down with him and we was just talking about, you know, his career and stuff, and then I got emotional. Like I started getting watery because I seen this dude, man, since I was freaking 2 years old, you know, fighting. So for me to be there with him, and I was just watching, he was sweating crazy. Like he had sweat all over. He was just so hyped. Like he had me there, and then he had, you know, he had fans too, still there, like screaming his name and stuff. He was just going crazy. And then you know, like I asked him for coffee. I'm like, yo, let's drink some coffee. He started going crazy. Oh my God, cause it was like 6 o'clock at night. And then I was gonna go, like we was like 4 hours with each other. Then I was gonna leave, and he begged me like to go to another town where he's from. And when we went there, it was like freaking like 30 people, 40 people there screaming his name, Tito, going crazy. And he was like, no, Edgar. So I was like, damn, this dude's so humble, man. It's crazy how much they love him, you know, like people told me that when he fought, that the whole Puerto Rico stopped for him. You know, like the drug wars in Puerto Rico that was going on, they'll stop. You know, a lot of people in the street won't be in the street because they saying down to watch Trinidad.
Yeah, that's incredible. He's like the crime stopper.
Yeah.
But that's I can't imagine meeting an idol like that, having him now a fan of you moving forward. Puerto Rico and Mexico have a huge rivalry in boxing currently at your weight. You know, a couple Mexican champions, Benavidez and Canelo, guys probably, you know, in your sights coming up soon. Talk to me a little bit about, you know, potential matchup down the line with those guys, what that would mean to you, and also reigniting that Puerto Rican versus Mexican rivalry in boxing.
That's gonna be a big fight. You know, like he right now, you know, Canelo's like at the top right now of the food chain. So, you know, for me, I'm like, you know, I'm down here, you know, but I'm working my way up. But for me, like for that fight to happen is just not him, is me, you know, because he's already at the top. So it's like I'm climbing. So I just got to continue to win, you know, look good in all my performances, man, and just keep continuing to perform. That's the most important thing, and win. And I feel like that fight would draw it by itself. You know, we won't really need nothing to boost the fight up because of the situation of Mexico and Puerto Rico, and that's just something big for boxing. Especially like we not like at a lower weight class. We at a high weight class at 168, so it's two bigger guys. You know, rather than like, you know, Trinidad, when Trinidad fought, like, you know, with the Mexicans, you know, it was a lot of lighter weights, and now it's like 168 is super middleweight. Canelo Alvarez, you got myself. You know, God willing, I get to that level, which I will. And I'll see that fight happening like in 2 years.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive, massive fight, especially if you keep this insane streak going of knockouts. But also, you know, you're becoming a family man, baby on the way. If you don't mind, maybe talking about how that's kind of changed your motivation, how that's added to your camp and your training.
Yeah, you know, like now it's like now I really have something to fight for. You know, I got my family now, and I got a baby boy on the way. So, you know, it still haven't hit me that much. I know it's gonna hit me the day that he's born, that I'm actually holding him in my arms. But it's gonna be crazy, man. Like I know, like my dad told me, he said, when you see that little man in your hand, he said it's gonna change your life. Like you're gonna look at life totally different. Like a lot of things that you was doing before, you're not gonna do now. Like a lot of things that, you know, events that people want you to go, you're not gonna want to go because you're gonna want to stay home and just be with your son and your family.
Most definitely. And everyone in New York is so excited for you this weekend. We can't wait to watch. I think, you know, you got New York, Puerto Rico behind you, and it's expanding to everybody, because everyone loves to see a guy who gets knockouts, who comes forward and is a vicious puncher. And that's exactly what you are. And, you know, we can't wait to watch that. So thanks so much for the time today.
I got my guy right here, Alexander Zayas. I don't know, you probably know him, Alexander Zayas. He's 18 years old. He's also signed with Top Rank, 147. He's the future from Puerto Rico right here too as well.
Oh,
Alexander Zayas. So he's the next one coming up too. You know, we coming up together as the same generation. We on the same card. You know, so we sold out the arena as far, you know, as long as we're Pitufo and all the other Puerto Rican fighters, man. But this is one of the futures of Puerto Rico.
That's my man right here, man. Thank you very much. Again, it means a lot to us to, you know, fight for Puerto Rico and put on a show in Kissimmee.
Yeah, awesome. If you guys want to shout out social media and where to follow you guys, go.
Man, you guys can follow me at Xander Zayas, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You'll find me there. And again, thank you for the support. Thank you for all the love.
Me, bro, Edgar Berlanga, Instagram, Twitter, Edgar Berlanga Jr., and Facebook, Edgar Berlanga. So it's simple. These are the two champs right here, man.
Yes,
two champs of Puerto Rico, man. And we're looking to, you know, blow the roof off again, like I said on Saturday.
100%.
Let's go. It goes down Saturday, Top Rank. Everyone tune in for some action. 2 stars right here on camera. Let's go.
Let's go.